welcome to episode 166 of
The Eldritch
Podblast. I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And
who are you? Introduce yourself, please.
The floor's open.
Down in the comments, please. Full name yourself.
In front of all these people here. In front of my dog.
Give me your government name.
Yes. And your social security number.
Yes, please.
And the 3 digits on the back of your credit card. Don't need the other information. I already have it. Thank you.
Welcome in. Welcome back.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you very much for being patient with us on Thursday, where we didn't release a video. You know what? Time is a weird soup.
We've time's been like thin on the ground recently.
Time's been.
I don't really know why.
Time has indeed been. Where's the thing I used here to turn this?
Turn what?
This top bit.
You just want to turn it?
Yeah.
Just turn it. It's just stiff.
But it's yeah, true.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, time has been really weird recently.
Hard to come by.
Yeah, incredibly hard to come by.
Yeah, we've had a lot going on.
Yeah. Not unfortunately. We've had a lot of fun things going on.
Yeah, a lot of awesome things.
But gosh, yeah, no, it's been busy. It feels like. I feel like we took a couple of days off to play WoW, and then ever since then, it's just been clawing to get back. So thank you very much for your patience with us on Thursday. I can't even remember exactly what the reason was that we didn't get filmed. I think it's because we are taking part in September
over on Twitch.
For this September over on Twitch.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, basically throughout the month of September, Twitch has all sorts of offers on subs. You get 25% off tier 1 and tier 2. No, 1 month and 3 months.
1 month and 3 months.
And then 30% off 6 months.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of incentives throughout the month on different days as well.
Yeah, different bits, different gifteds.
And a lot of people we know were doing September, so we were like, yeah, sure, why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
We've put a number of different fun goals throughout.
Let's put them up here. This is all of the things that we've got going on. Well, not potentially in September, but these are all the goals that we have.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, in the first stream, the first 3 goals were already smashed.
Yes, of course.
Very imminently onto the 4th goal.
Yes, because that's who our Twitch enjoyers. That's what they are like. That's who they are. That's what they do.
Yep, that's what you're all about.
Yeah, they do like to just smash goals that we put up. So
they do like to spoil us.
Tonight we will be on stream, not for you. This was a few days ago for you. But we will be doing our, that trend on TikTok where like couples like paint each other, but don't show each other until it's done.
Yeah.
We will be partaking in that tonight.
Yeah. We have dog cam.
We've got a dog cam. So you can redeem a little peek into Bully's bed.
Yeah, again. And this will have all happened on Friday.
Yeah.
But the VOD will be up if you want to see how that went.
But there's there's a number of different things in there. There's a 1D&D deep dive which will have done yesterday on stream.
Yep.
On Sunday.
Chaperone drag.
Chaperone drag.
Karaoke night.
Stream.
And the top goal is me and Jack will play a 2-player TTRPG together.
Yeah, I will run a story for Margaret on stream live.
Yep. Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So if you want to come and be part of September, we wanted it. Normally, how these things go, from what we understand, is it's mainly based off like subs, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted everyone to be able to contribute in any way that they wanted to. So we've included subs, bits, and donos, and like literally 1 bit adds to the experience bar. Everything adds to the experience.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how little you give it, all goes to the same place.
Exactly.
And obviously, thank you very much for getting us to the goals that we've gotten to so far. And
thank you so very much.
Looking forward to more streams.
Indeed, can't wait. Some of the things that we got planned, I am so excited for.
Yeah.
Horror games night, a movie night.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things, and I cannot wait. And thank you so much to everyone, and not just people who have donated to September. People who just sit here and watch our lurkers, people who interact with us all the time, people who genuinely just put the podcast on the background. We really appreciate you.
We do.
Thank you so very much.
Whichever way you've ever supported this podcast, we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. Yeah, I've been really well. I've been just hanging around.
Yeah. Just hanging around.
Just hanging around. Been doing a lot of looking into one D&D.
Yes.
Because we got obviously, if you might have seen, we got the book sent to us by Wizards of the Coast.
Thank you.
A book
thank you,
each.
Wizards. Yeah.
And, we showed our friends on Wednesday when they turned up for D&D. We sat till 3 in the morning the other night, thinking
building my next character.
Building the character for the next campaign.
Which I won't go over it yet. But we got into the final arc. Yeah. Not even arc, the final couple episodes.
Final zone of the campaign.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah, a few little bits going on in here. So, not ending imminently, next session or anything like that. But soon. Soon. Yeah, soon, I think. Pretty soon.
Yeah. Hey, I have toothache.
Margaret's had toothache.
Man, so I obviously went between I have toothache to I'm dying multiple times. I flip between them quite often, to be honest.
Oh, I've got a little bit of toothache.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Yeah,
I've had issues with my mouth for I would say the past couple of months. It started with me this side of my mouth hurting, started with the ulcers on my tongue, then the ulcer on the thing on my lip, and now I have a wisdom tooth, I think, coming through.
Pretty certain.
One of the top ones as well. And first of all, wisdom teeth hurt so much because it's literally rearranging your jaw. The first few days, I couldn't even open my mouth properly because my whole jaw was so sore, and it's still bad now. And I'd wake up and my face would be hot.
It seems like it's tuned down a little bit.
Definitely. Oh my god, definitely.
Than what it was at the beginning.
Yeah,
which is good.
Today, to be fair, today and yesterday is the best it's felt.
Good.
The pain is always there, but it's not excruciating. God, the other night I woke up in the middle of the night and it was, when you wake up next to him in the middle of the night. I don't know. Hey.
Whoa.
Hey.
Get that DMCA strike off my video on YouTube.
So it's genuinely been horrendous.
Yeah.
It's actually been something that is really, because, hey, I can't eat. Hey, I love eating. Look at me. I love to eat. I've had to eat it really.
You had some yogurt for breakfast, didn't you?
Yeah, which is not enough for me, by the way.
I got you a pie that you can eat the middle of the pie.
Yeah, you have.
For lunch.
You've been really trying to help, and you know what? I have to eat to take painkillers.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person where I'm really sensitive to medicine. So if I don't eat when I take a painkiller, hey, I'm dead.
It's over.
It's
over for you. You're gone. You're out of here.
That's it. So. Honestly, it's been a miserable week. I will say I'm feeling pretty miserable.
No,
but I'm coming out the end of it now.
Yeah, we've been watching Dragon Prince. You played D&D. You hung out with Abby yesterday.
Yeah, Abby came around.
There's been some fun things.
There has been. But gosh, the moments where I'm not completely, my mind isn't taken off of it. It's been hell. It's been so bad.
So fair.
Me being hungry and in pain. Ooh, and tired. Ooh,
you better watch out.
Terrible combo. Hey,
you better watch out.
Hey, guess what? I'm on my period as well. Oh my god.
Cha-ching.
It's been a mess.
Let's go.
So yeah. That was a lot of whinging for a Monday.
Talking about how you are. Talking about how it's been. I got a haircut.
Yeah, you did get a haircut.
Yeah, chilling out.
There was something else that happened recently, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Dragon Prince. Well, no, we watched The Rings of Power as well. We watched the first 3 episodes of the new season of Rings of Power. Again, I know that Rings of Power is very divisive, but for people who have literally no reference to the lore. No reference at all. Honestly, even with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, we've only watched the movies, right? So we don't know the actual lore. I really enjoyed it. There's bits. I've come to the conclusion.
What, in Rings of Power?
Yeah. And you know which bits I'm talking about. That I just don't enjoy. God,
yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but there's obviously the 2 hobbits that are traveling with the stranger. Whatever.
Hey, I couldn't care less.
Just do something.
Yeah, hey, couldn't care less.
It's entertainment. Why don't you just do something?
Yeah,
they're just walking and nothing's happening, and they were doing that last season. It's just just have something happen. Do you remember when Walking Dead got really boring or something in the 3rd or 4th season? Where they did nothing but walk? It's just that's not entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just you're supposed to see them creating these bonds and stuff like that. It's just well, make things happen to make the bonds stronger. They can't just hey, we're friends now. It's just that makes literally terrible entertainment.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I hate it.
Yeah.
The rest of it though.
The rest of it, I want to watch Isildur.
Yeah, I want to watch
for reasons.
Right. Yeah. Hey.
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 Hey, for reasons.
Hey, Sealdor.
Hey.
What's happening?
Hey.
Hey.
Cast the ring into the fire.
Sealdor! Cast it into the fire!
I do. I have enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been good.
And last season of the most recent season of Dragon Prince.
Oh God,
we didn't
so
even know
good.
it came out. I was on TikTok and I saw,
Yeah.
you know, in the very first episode, the scene with Claudia.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like,
What the hell?
I don't recognize that at all.
Like the first 3 seasons of Dragon Prince were unbelievable.
Yes, the first season was incredible. The second season was great.
There was a pandemic.
Yes,
and
there was writer strikes.
And there was writer strikes. So like it had a big pause in the middle, but when it came back, like I don't know,
it lost its charm.
It lost its charm a bit, and I was a little bit upset because it just wasn't as like 4 was not great.
5
was better, but
5 was fine.
5 was
4, fine. I didn't enjoy 4 actually at all.
But 6, oh my God.
But 6,
Holy.
this is like The Walking Dead again.
Yeah.
This is literally season 6 of The Walking Dead. It hadn't been great since the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Season 6 of The Walking Dead was
3
incredible.
Was pretty good. 3 was a prison.
3 was good.
3 was good.
But it wasn't great in the first way that the first were.
6?
But season 6 of Dragon Prince was
so good.
The last episode of season 6.
Yeah, the one we just watched.
My favorite episode of the whole thing.
So good.
Is it because I cried a lot? Yeah. Hey, yeah, but they got their. It feels like they got their charm and their spark back.
Yeah, it's like they got the like. Dragon Prince is all about like. It's just super high fantasy.
To be fair,
fantasy.
It has been very much compared online to Avatar, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of intended for children.
Yeah.
Kind of not. There's those jovial moments that are intended for children to enjoy and be able to watch. But I would say it does have a lot of adult themes in it.
Yeah, I think the whole story is catered to actually adults.
Yeah, but kids could watch it.
Yeah,
it's something that I don't think.
It's all about like friendship and love and stuff like that.
Yeah, and a lot of jokes.
But the lore,
the
world building, like the visuals.
Yeah.
Oh my God, especially in that last one.
Yeah.
The visuals were insane.
The visuals were incredible, and the storytelling was incredible. There's a character I really hated, Viren. I'm looking at you, who actually, to be fair, got better.
But got better? Come on.
Yeah.
That was like
yeah, I know.
And they were trying to give him the redemption arc, but he wasn't really worthy of it. But at the end,
kind of
you
last
were like,
minute he was.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was exactly what you needed to do.
I agree.
Man, so good.
And you know what?
Unreal.
And again, no spoilers, but I love Claudia.
Yeah.
Claudia is actually, apart from Rayla, and I named my literal D&D character after Rayla from Dragon Prince. But Claudia, I love how complex Claudia's character is, because she is, and she's a cinnamon roll, but she's also a monster.
Yeah, she's a monster.
And I love that. I love the grappling between, but I did it for love, but how far are you willing to go for love before it completely destroys everything around you? I love that storytelling. I love Claudia.
Very good.
So hey, if you haven't watched Dragon Prince, I would implore you to watch it. I will say the 3rd, 4th, and 5th series.
Third is good.
Third is good. Third is
Fourth isn't the best.
4th and 5th are a little bit of a drag.
Yeah.
But
6.
The 6th season completely makes up for it. And to be fair, the first 3 seasons completely make up for that drag as well.
And it's not that I don't think that they were bad, they were just slower.
Yeah.
And I think they feel like they lost a little bit of the magic.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people have an issue with the animation in it, because at first I was like, this is weird.
I like the animation.
I was like, this animation is kind of like not like, I don't know, weird to watch. You do get used to it and you end up loving it, in my opinion. Dragon Prince, 10 out of 10. I would recommend. Yep. Rings of Power, I would also recommend.
I would recommend, but I understand if you don't like it.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know where my dog is, and that.
Oh, no, that's not him at all.
He went downstairs.
Do you want to go check on him?
Yeah.
He's here.
He has arrived.
He was licking his foot. Hey, who would have thought?
Hey, Daddy's got the spidey senses.
Yep. Daddy always knows, doesn't he? All right. Well, I guess with that, is there anything else?
Yeah. Come and join us on Twitch.
Yeah.
Every Friday, every Sunday, every other Tuesday. We are currently in the midst of September. It's a great time to check it out if you want to come and hang out and just do fun stuff and, talk about D&D at the same time and just hang out and just be with us. It's a good time. Like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff goes a million miles to help the video. Thank you so much for all the support you always show us. Check out some merch, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Patrons get 10% off, and check out our Patreon in the link in the description.
Yay! You know what? I've just realized that hoodie's in there with them.
Yeah.
I just realized in that moment.
Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
All right, as you can see, today we are doing This Month on Reddit.
Did you put that down?
Yes, I did.
You are so good.
I did. Hey, actually, I did.
You're a
hey, I
beast.
did. And you know what? I always forgot to mention it. We have an unofficial subreddit now. And I pulled a couple of these from the unofficial subreddit that people are posting things to. So thank you.
Do we want to link to the unofficial subreddit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hey, links down
Links
below.
in the description if you want to put stories in there and talk to each other.
It's not moderated by us or any of our mods. It is completely not associated with us, but I will check it to find things, and I pulled a couple from this, which is incredibly useful and helpful. So thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you ever see a Reddit post that you would like to submit for here, just repost it to the subreddit, and I'll take a look through it whenever I'm planning these episodes.
Amazing, awesome.
Thank you. So the first one, as you know, I don't know how we do this is at the end we always shout out to an artist or a business or two artists.
Yeah.
Today is two artists.
Yes.
And we typically always start with like a question.
And
this one is things that you wish you knew when you started DMing for the first time.
Things that I wish I knew when I started DMing for the first time. Do you want me to go first?
Well, if you want to, I can give you these because I get the feeling I tried to pick ones that I thought maybe were different to what you would say, so you could have some proper input as well.
So mine is going to be unique to me, as every Dungeon Master's is. Yeah. Mine is definitely they don't know.
Yep.
Like they don't know. They'll never know.
Yep.
What's going on behind your screen.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I went off track from the lesson plan. From the session plan. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea.
They have no idea.
That thing that was supposed to be over here is now over there, which is where they wanted to go.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. I feel like we sort of we put ourselves in a very rigid space where we've got to try and get through and work towards that thing that we have planned. It's just like I like to just be fluid.
Yeah.
Like this thing is happening and this, like we had a combat last thingy. I just put them there and I was like, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Like however it happens.
Yeah.
And then I just found a way to put it in.
Yeah.
And just like, to me, I just like letting it happen.
Yeah.
That makes for a fun session for me because it feels like the players have, and they have absolute control as to where the session goes.
Yeah.
And I'll just put the things that are important where they want to go and what they want to see and things like that and what they want to find out.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
And that makes me as a dungeon master really enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. And again, I only DM'd for a very brief time, but kind of based on everything that we've seen, the advice the submissions that we get, I think I have two. Is you have to be having fun.
Yeah, you gotta have fun.
You have to have fun. There is no point in you DMing if you're not having fun. Don't break your back to make sure everyone else is having fun.
If you're not,
you're a player. You play this game too. Sure, your role is slightly different, but you have to have fun.
It's the hardest job and it's the most work. So if you aren't having fun, it's like if you don't feel rewarded by it, it's just it's fucking pointless.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking pointless.
Yeah, and it's also, if you're not having fun and you don't think it's for you, it is so okay for you to not DM anymore.
That.
Yeah,
everyone
100%.
thinks like that whole everyone should DM. Yeah, it's just like
no, you're not letting anyone down.
It's and it's not to say if you want to try, go for it.
Oh, definitely.
But if it's not for you, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not everyone is built to be a DM.
There's no shame in it. Absolutely no shame whatsoever. And my second one, which is just as important, is communication. Just simply communication. Make it clear from the very beginning, from your session 0, that your players can communicate with you and you can communicate with them. And whenever you need to, you do communicate. Because 99.9% of things that we see genuinely could maybe not be solved with communication, but there could have been at least a bridge.
A better path.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, like, some people just don't even realize they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And just need to be told.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Honestly, most people.
I would say the majority of people, to give people the benefit
you were
of the
doing
doubt.
this. I didn't even realize. Sorry, I'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't even realize it was a problem. They were just, I mean, like, and if we don't communicate that, like, we never give them the chance to do something about it.
To change. Yeah, I agree. And, you know, and also on the other hand, if they're doing it intentionally and you communicate with them honestly and from like an unbiased perspective and they come back with fire, then hey, there's your answer, you know? Yeah, those are my two. So from the Reddit, do not be afraid to tell your players, let's just take 5 minutes so I can readjust, so you can tie everything together and make a cohesive story adventure. Yeah. 100%.
Do you know another thing that happens to, and because I am a very fluid dungeon master, something that happens to me very often is combats change place.
Yeah.
Hey, I had it in this courtyard. Yep. Hey, well, now it's in one of the houses.
Yep.
Like around the courtyard. Hey, I had this behind the waterfall, but now you're all in the lake.
Yep.
And stuff like that. It's just like, I am more than happy. Do you want to know what the best time ever to take a break is? Hey, everybody roll initiative. Also, take 5 minutes.
Yep.
Go
to the toilet, get something to
get a drink, get a snack.
Yeah.
Because when we get into combat, it's going to be happening.
Yep.
Which also gives you like 5-10 minutes to sort things out.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, I just need to quickly rip a new map. And just so you know, this wasn't the map I had like intended, so it's not going to be as detailed. Hey, that's fine.
Yeah, it gives you time to, if you need to roll initiatives, if you need to get your stat blocks up, if you need to get the map sorted. We roll initiative, we take a 5-minute break, we keep ourselves entertained, and then we all come back excited to go. Yeah, I agree. There is no shame in saying, whoa, okay, hey, you blindsided me there. Yeah. Give me 5 minutes. Man, nothing wrong with that.
I am so open and honest with when the session goes off plan.
Yeah.
These days, it doesn't go off plan because I don't actually have a plan.
Yeah.
But I used to have plans, and I used to be very honest to be like, hey, wasn't planning for this, so we're doing this sort of like both of us at the seat of our pants. And do you know what? Sometimes the players get really excited about that.
And no one, by the way, is sat there going, my immersion. And if they are, that's something that you need to be like, hey, why are you like that?
Yeah.
Hey, why do you feel like you have to be like that? No one, your players do not mind.
No.
They really, really, really don't. Your players should want you to have the best experience that you can. And if taking 5 minutes out of however long is nothing. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah, 100%.
The next one is not all friends are D&D friends. I had to
true, so true.
I had to boot an old friend from a game because of his behavior. It was hard, but it was the right decision, both for the game and for our friendship.
Man, I honestly, like, this is the truest of truths.
I agree.
Like, people think, but they're my friend. It's just like, doesn't matter. They're bad to play D&D with.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes it's not even they're not good. They're like bad.
They're bad.
Like,
they're actively bad. Yeah.
Like, when games get involved and things like that, people change. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, like when a competitive nature, and you know, the thing is,
I don't think D&D's competitive, but
I don't
some
think
people
it is
think
either.
it is the problem.
Yeah, and some people think it's a game to win, and honestly, when teamwork comes into question, I think when teamwork comes into question, that's where someone can either sink or swim. I think.
I completely agree, and I think that like it's so common.
Yeah.
Like, I play this game, I play like Fortnite with my friend, but they're bad to play D&D with. It's just that's not an uncommon thing.
No, that's a very normal thing.
Like, honestly, when you come to a game, finding out what people want from the game is the most important thing, because like they might be your best friend, but they might just love killing goblins.
Yeah.
They might just love like killing everything, and everything's a fight.
They might want to sit in a town and roleplay for 4 hours.
Yeah, and you want to like go on the dungeon crawls.
Yeah.
And you've got all these combats planned, and you haven't got this like rich lore and stuff like that, and it's just like, different play styles are so common.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that's anything with art, because I would say D&D is a form of art. At least it's 100%. A creative exercise, right?
I completely agree.
And your taste in music or your taste in a movie or books is going to be different to your friends, who's going to be different to theirs. Yeah. And D&D is something where it is very much a taste. There is very much a specific play style for people.
Yeah. It's like D&D is like a massive sphere.
Yeah.
And you can like fill different pockets of that massive sphere.
Yeah.
And sometimes playstyles just do not overlap. Okay.
Oh, he's so close to you right now.
Get up.
Oh man. Wait a second. No.
Nearly had a catastrophe. the camera was nearly completely knocked off.
And well, to get back to it before I could forget this point, some people as well are happy to forfeit. Some people are happier to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And some people are not. Some people are like, no, I'm rigid. This is what I want. I don't want to have to give up any of this, and this is what I want. And that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
And some of the people are happier to be like, yeah, I can go with the flow. I don't. It's not my preference, but I don't mind.
Yeah, like I think I'm very much like that when I play. Like I don't really. I think I would love a game personally that is just a dungeon crawl, fucking smashing stuff and getting to the end and like power game and an XP and stuff like that. I think I would actually get quite a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah, me too.
But I also love. But the thing is, I love storytelling, but I love telling my own story.
Yeah,
is the thing. I think I enjoy storytelling less as a player.
Yes,
I like role playing as my character.
Yeah,
but again, I've talked about this many times. If the story isn't exactly what I would have done,
don't want it.
I don't want it, and that's just a burden that I bear.
I think that's I think a lot of dungeon masters feel like that.
Yeah,
and I am not the latter. I am the former. I'm very rigid with what I want. I won't compromise my D&D experience for anything.
Yeah,
and we are so lucky that the people we play with, that your style of DMing is perfect. We are so lucky that we have found the perfect fit immediately, and now I wouldn't ever deviate from that. I would never play in a long-term campaign with someone who wasn't you as the DM. I wouldn't play in a long-term campaign without our group of friends. And that's okay. That's a preference, but you will learn your friends might be too rigid like me, or might be very flexible and be able to go with whatever. Like it's like you go to a movie and you watch a movie, you like it, your friend doesn't. It's honestly the same with D&D.
And like don't be surprised when your very good friend who you thought was going to be a good fit for your table isn't, because it is so common.
It is common, but there's also the moments like our table where our good friends fit in perfectly and were exactly what we wanted. Pendulum swings, pendulum takes, and all of that.
Pendulum swings both ways. Definitely. But I think people are just like, man, but they're my friend. How isn't it? It's just like, you aren't the only. Like, don't worry. It happens to a lot of us when we realize that friends that we love doing so many other things with are actually not very good to play D&D with.
And we're not saying, by the way, that this is definitely going to happen. You're going to hate playing D&D with your friends. No. But if it happens, oh gosh, it's so normal.
It happens.
It's like, so normal, and that's okay. And gosh, the best thing you can do for your friendship, as OP says here, is just call it quits before it gets into the realm of no return.
Yes,
because it can
100%.
happen, and it has happened.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice. The next one. Your players love your games. Butts and seats equals high praise.
That's it.
Yep.
Why do they turn up every single week?
Yep.
Like, why do they spend 4, 5, 6, 10 hours, whatever you play, like once a month, every week, every other week, whatever it is? Like, why do you think people give up? Like, either they hate themselves and have nothing better to do, and literally, like, which is probably not the case, or they love your game.
Yeah, exactly. Who is going to sacrifice? I can only use our tip for example. Every week, 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
Who's going to sacrifice that?
We like finish at 4:00.
Yeah.
We like sort of begin to get together and we play till 10. It's just like, we might not be playing D&D the whole time.
No.
But we're hanging out for 6 hours every week.
Who's going to do that with people that they don't like?
People that they don't like are something that they don't
want to do. And you know what? If they are doing that, then that's absolutely on them.
That's on them.
That's not on you. If they're only turning up because they feel like they have to.
They feel like they're obligated to.
Or they maybe want to have like some drama to talk about and complain about. That is 100% on them and not on you.
On them.
And, you know, hopefully communication from the very beginning, you know, you would want your friends to come to you and say, hey, look, I'm just not feeling it.
Fun, yeah.
I'm just not feeling it. It's nothing on you. I don't think it's anything on me. Like, I'm just not enjoying it.
Just not enjoying it. And there's nothing wrong with that as well. But as well, I always feel like people think that makes them a bad dungeon master.
Yeah, gosh,
it's just
no.
like, if somebody came to my table and didn't enjoy the story that I was telling, does that make me a bad dungeon master?
No.
I'm just telling a story that they're not interested in.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I'm not going to not enjoy myself to try and fit for them.
Yeah.
It's just like, because I need to enjoy myself as well.
Yeah.
But all the other bums that are in seats at that table
absolutely
mean that you're doing something right.
Totally.
People look forward to it. People put a night of their week aside normally to do it.
Yep. Which is hard. It's hard to do. Like when we're all adults, and even then, if we're in school or we're doing other things, it is a big commitment
100%.
to D&D, and for someone to show up week on week, they love your game.
Yeah, they love it.
It's so easy to get self-conscious, and it's so easy to have that imposter syndrome coming in. But look at what's in front of you. Your people are turning up every week.
Yeah.
They're enjoying it. They're in the seats. They're playing. They're engaging. It's.
And whether it is the most epic tale or it's just a fucking fuck around with your friends, the thing is, you're creating a space where they get to just forget about everything else that's going on.
Yep.
They get to hang out with 4, 5, 6 other people, like communicate, just be personable and like be somebody. Because as we've said before, like since the pandemic, we've gone through a loneliness epidemic as well.
Definitely.
And a lot of people just want that interaction.
Connection. Yeah,
they just want that connection.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing that, whether they think it's the most intriguing or not, they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And if you want it to be, D&D can absolutely be a really personal, in-depth, close experience where you become really close to the people around you.
100%.
If you want it to be.
That's what ours has become.
Yeah, it absolutely has. Truly. Like we have a bond with all of our friends now in a way that we didn't have before we played D&D with them.
And this is the thing, it's just like, it's not that I don't think any of us would hang out outside. I think you and Abby would.
Yeah.
I think that might be about it.
I agree.
Like, Josh is a very social person who like goes out and plays pool and things like that and has drinks with his friends.
Yeah.
Matthew is a very like he likes to go out and like go on walks and things like
keep
that.
busy. Yeah.
I like playing games on my PC.
We spend a lot of time with Babs online.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time with Babs online and stuff like that. But it's just like, but at the end of the day, though we might not hang out outside D&D, all we want to do is play D&D together.
Exactly.
Because we've formed these bonds between a thing that we love, which is D&D.
And we have an excuse to see each other once a week.
And we love it.
Yeah,
and I love everyone I play D&D with.
Same. Right, the last two in this. Listen to what your players say, especially offhand comments. Then filter everything through a funhouse mirror and send it right back at them. I think that's so much fun.
Yeah, I think that just to take this point, listen, because this is something that happens to me, or did happen to me, was I would get backstories. This is coming from a completely Dungeon Master perspective. I would get backstories and I'd be like, oh, there's a lot in here. All right, I'll try and hit on all of these points.
Yeah.
And then we'd get into the game and then I'd begin to realize, I think this is what matters to them.
This is what they care about.
This is what they really care about.
Yeah.
The other stuff is more flavor and stuff that we can just flesh out and maybe pay a little bit of mind to here and there if it comes up. But this is the meat. This is the the whole thing that they really care about.
Exactly.
And just by listening as a dungeon master to things that they care about, or do you know what? Listening to just a little bit of information of how their minds change.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think is really important.
I completely agree. Taking, for example, Rovret. We all love Rovret. Obviously, we were all always going to love Rovret. Marcus's genie patron. And you took that and you were like, I'm going to make this something bigger.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, you love him. I know you love him. So I'm going to make this something bigger.
Yeah.
And, you know, even with my backstory, no spoilers, but with my backstory, there was a huge pillar in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know what I wanted from it until I got further into the game and I started mentioning it more in game. And you were like, oh, well, all right. That's obviously the path she wants to go down. Yeah. And I think, you know, just stupid things, even small things mean a lot. When your players say something, even just a stupid offhand comment, and then it's brought back up again, it can be something as simple as, oh, I grew up in this town. Oh, I have a friend named this. Oh, my favorite color is this. When your players mention something, even just mundane like that, and they don't even notice they're saying it, but then your DM does exactly this, listens, filters it through a funhouse mirror, sends it right back at you. It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's just like, we're telling a story together, so we need to listen to each other.
Yeah.
And, like, I think listening to each other, it's not like, hey, shut up, don't, like, have crack at the table and stuff like that, but it's just, like, listening to each other is so important because you just never know that moment where somebody might let slip a little bit of information that might not seem massively important now, but would become really important later in the day.
Yeah.
And if you miss that and it doesn't make sense, it's just like...
Yeah.
Like, I think that... especially at my table, and I think it came a lot from how I like to tell stories, and I think you've all then adopted it.
Yes,
like you all like to slow burn now your stories a little bit and just give bits and maybe even be okay with like lying about something.
Yeah, definitely.
And then revealing the truth like later on.
Definitely.
And I feel like we've built that over like 3 or 4 years now.
Yes.
And because of that, you're also in tune with it.
Yeah.
Like you will listen.
Yeah.
And
of course, yeah.
And then be like, hey, I heard you said this the
yeah,
other day.
And you know what? Do you know who's great at this? Matthew.
Yeah,
Matthew's great at this. There was something recently where this isn't a big spoiler. Basically, there was someone we encountered very early on in the game, and we stole an item from him. We then came back round and found a counterpart to this person, where the person we stole from, that item meant a lot to this person. And Matthew didn't want to give this item up, but had...
It was like a reoccurring thing that he really wanted to keep the whole campaign.
Yeah.
Until this moment. And then that moment.
This moment, he recognized, he was like, this is actually a really important thing for me to do.
Yeah.
And he gave the item up because it was more important in this moment to the counterpart. And I just, Matthew's so great at moments like that. And he's so great at paying attention and listening and understanding the implications of something very small.
Yeah. Taking those little small details and then 5, 6, 7 sessions later, like having these like one-on-one character moments and then bringing that thing up or doing something like sentimental for somebody.
Yeah, totally.
With that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's really good at it.
He's
I
great
completely
at that.
agree. And I think you've all taken that on.
Yeah.
Just throughout like the way that I think that I like telling stories, and then you were like, okay, well, this is the way that we tell stories at this table, and then you've all become so great at it, I think.
Yeah,
and
I think
I love that for all of you because you do things for each other in that way.
Yeah, and I think this is something, not necessarily even just for a DM, right? Just
100%.
listen to what everyone's saying around you. And especially people who are like, how do I get my character to forge more of a relationship with this person? How do we get closer? How do I get this other character to talk more or roleplay more?
It's like
listening is a huge part of it.
They say something like, oh, I love hot cross buns.
Yeah.
I love sweet buns or something like that. And then you're out in the town and you're like, oh, hey, DM, is there a bakery? Yeah, there is. Oh, do they have sweet buns? Yeah. I get a pack of 6 sweet buns.
Yeah.
I bring them back to the group and I hand them over and I say, hey, I know that you're missing home. Didn't you have these at home? It's just like, that is so thoughtful.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is. Yeah.
Things like that where we just listen to each other and then do things for each other because we're a party and we're friends, and it makes our characters have bonds.
Yeah.
Oh man, your character will never forget that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then, on the DM perspective, like, to go to the complete extreme, if you hear your players saying something like, oh, imagine if this person was a werewolf. And then suddenly you're like, okay, yeah, all right, they're a werewolf.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, that's so much cooler. Or they're like, what if werewolves are in this? The whole Caladan thing with the wife and the painting and the whole thing that you did for us in session 1, in campaign 1, it's like, Listen to what the people around you are
because
saying.
Especially if that's the way that your Dungeon Master tells stories, it's because it's just like, if it is, like, if you're listening, there's stuff there.
Yeah.
Like, if my players dig deep enough, they'll know there's going to be something there for them to find out.
Yeah. And then the last one on this point is the DM's also entitled to enjoy themselves the moment you feel stressed. Take a break.
100%.
Yep.
100%. And like, I am such an advocate for this because I feel like in my last 2 campaigns, I have gotten quite stressed. And I've never really truly known what it was that I was getting stressed about. But this campaign, maybe at the beginning when I hadn't truly admitted to myself that I fucking despise planning and absolutely hate it and want nothing to do with it, apart from combats. And this campaign, not once have I felt stressed, I don't think. Like, after the intro.
Yeah.
I just gave up and I was like, I'm just going to see what it's like if I just don't plan anything. And I think every single one of us have said, like, best campaigns on far.
Totally.
And I have not felt burnout. I have not felt stress because I have just done what I want. Yeah. And it's not saying that, you know, like, you aren't going to feel it. You probably will. And if you do, take the week off. If you do, think about what it is that's stressing you out.
Totally.
You can change things. There's no right way to Dungeon Master. And if you're just trying to make yourself fit into what a, like, normal Dungeon Master would do, it's just like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. You have to enjoy yourself. Your job is the hardest at the table. If you aren't enjoying it, you need to figure something out because you need to enjoy it to do it.
Totally. No shame in taking a break.
Nah.
You think about anything. Sometimes you just need a break from something you've been doing like every week, for example, for like a year. You know, sometimes you just need a break. Take the week off, take the month off, take a couple months off, take as long as you need. Don't push yourself to the point of burnout. Take the break before you get to that point, you know?
And like, I've never enjoyed D&D as much as I've enjoyed it. It's like, the only time I've enjoyed it as much as I enjoy it right now was when we first started and it was new and fresh.
Yeah,
to me, it feels new and fresh again.
Yeah.
Because I just have stopped doing things that I don't like doing.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if you're not the best person at writing monologues? If every time you write a monologue, you burn yourself out, don't write monologues. Doesn't matter. Your game is good for other reasons. Hey, you hate planning combat. Don't do combats then.
Yep.
Or just do loose combats and stuff like that. Like, where it's not like massively hard. You just want narrative combats if that's what you want.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, do what you enjoy and you will be the best Dungeon Master you can be.
I agree. I think some great points in that one.
Awesome points.
Yeah, some great points. And hey, I hope to our first-time DMs, to our experienced DMs, to our players, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
I hope that gives you some perspective. All of those are completely so true, and there's no secret sauce to DMing.
Nothing, no secret sauce, nothing that you're just going to snap your fingers and it's going to immediately be fine.
Yep.
Apart from doing what you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have fun.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing.
You gotta have fun.
You have to have fun.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Gosh, goodness gracious me. You know what? That went on for much longer than I thought.
Yeah, they always do, though.
I have so many in here.
Oh, well, just rip a couple of the best ones, you think?
Right. Well, this next one is titled, My DM Won't Adapt to Our Stupidity.
Okay.
Recently, while searching for our character's parents on the continent that is basically a giant labor camp, we asked the barkeeper there, where can we find the labor camps? He answered, everywhere. The whole continent is a labor camp. Thinking there was no more useful information, we left, and our bard spoke to the ghosts, and the ghosts pointed a certain direction, a necromancer university. We spent 2 whole sessions in that university, being betrayed again, got laughed at again, and being told that we went to the completely wrong spot and we're doing the completely wrong thing. Turns out we needed to ask for a labor camp administration, which was not once mentioned by our DM. He thinks he's in the right. That was the second time we've wasted a lot of time because we've been betrayed. We don't like when we're being betrayed. And we told that to our DM, and he basically said, just don't be dumb. What do you guys think?
Do you remember earlier in this exact podcast when I was like, hey, that thing that story point that you have.
Hey, they don't know.
Hey, they don't know where it is, but they think they're onto something and they go to this place. Hey, suddenly it's there.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's just like, you don't want them to succeed.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, they needed to ask for a labor camp
administration.
It's just like, have you ever told them about that?
No.
Have you ever mentioned anything about it? Has there been anything has administration word ever been mentioned in the campaign? No. Then you're not helping them. You need to help them. And even if not, suddenly the place that they go is the administration. Because your story is there to tell. Do you know I couldn't think anything worse of as a Dungeon Master personally? You going somewhere, me not putting the thing that I've planned there, and then us just doing a whole lot of
nothing. Doing absolutely nothing.
Making no progress because I was so petty to say, you didn't ask for the administration.
Yeah, I know.
Boring.
And you know what? I understand when, especially when you first start. Oh, like some DM's preferred style of planning is, here is step by step exactly how this puzzle is going to work itself out. They have to do exactly these things, otherwise they're not going to get to the objective. And I understand why you work like that.
100%.
But oh my God, you're working like that because you have all the information.
Exactly.
You know everything. So to you go, well, yeah, okay, so there's these labor camps here. The only way you can get in is with an administration. So the group has to get administration. Okay, they have to get administration first, then they'll get in.
You need to give them the information that they need administration.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the key. It's just like, if you want to do, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I understand that the way that I like to Dungeon Master is very fluid and nonchalant, and wherever we go, there's the right thing to get to. But, like, if you want to be quite rigid, there's nothing wrong with that. People work in different ways.
I agree.
But if you want to work like that, your players need to know the steps that they need
to
take.
The information.
They have to have all the information to get to that point. Yeah. That is the way that you will succeed with that type of storytelling.
Yeah, I agree. And, like... that just sounds so boring for everyone.
Boring.
That sounds so boring.
We just wasted 2 sessions doing something that nobody had planned or nobody had any interest in.
So
we were
boring.
in the completely wrong place because we didn't say the word administration.
Yeah, like this feels like a gotcha.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I can also genuinely see this being the DM being like, well, these are the points that they have to hit, and I'm not letting them in until they do it. But you
let them know that they're the points that they need to hit.
You have to let them know that. And so many DMs are like, how do I get this hint across? And if your players are not understanding it, you need to keep laying it on until they have an inkling that they're done. That they've got... Sorry. We had to clap for the dog
again.
I don't know what I was saying.
You were talking about having like an inkling that they have that they've got.
Yeah, dropping hints. Sorry, yes. When the DM's dropping hints, DMs are like, how do I drop hint?
Yes.
And then player, because they don't have information, they're not gonna know. So you keep dropping hints until your players get like a sniff. Yeah. Until your players, like for example, like a betrayal, the players go, that was weird. And then you just keep dropping them, because what might seem overt to you
isn't to them
because they don't have any of the information.
Because they don't have the information that you've got, and that's what I mean about not knowing what's behind the screen.
Yeah,
it's just like, but that's also a hindrance. They don't know what's behind the screen, so how do you let them know what is the right thing to do because if you just think, hey, they need administration, they don't know that's the way to do it. And the thing is, sometimes they just think of the most wild way to get to the...
They trust me,
and that's where I enjoy D&D. It's just like, hey, we need to get into this building, okay? And then I just let them do it.
Yeah.
But if you want them to get through a specific way because the things that you've got planned are on that route, you have to let them know that that's the way that you want them to do it.
Yeah. Listen, this sounds like... I'm trying to give the DM the benefit of the doubt here.
Do you want to know what?
Like, it sounds like a gotcha.
It sounds like a gotcha.
It sounds like a gotcha. What a waste of time.
And then
for 2 sessions.
2 sessions?
To let it go on for 2 sessions, that feels like it can't be anything but a gotcha.
Because why did you let it go on for 2 sessions?
Yeah, why did you let it go on?
Why did you let it go on for 2 sessions?
Yeah.
If it wasn't a gotcha, they'd have gone, hey, I think you might need administration.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Yeah. And then to be laughed at, to be like, you're in the wrong place. Like, you're doing the wrong thing, by the way.
And that's the thing. It's just like, it can't be anything but a gotcha. Yeah. If when it comes out that you did the wrong thing, you're getting ridiculed and laughed at, there is no way that the Dungeon Master didn't enjoy themselves while you failed.
Yeah. Hey, this person shouldn't be a DM.
No, I don't think so.
Hey,
I don't think so.
This person, if they're only playing to get a one-up on the people around them, you shouldn't be a DM.
Nah, you shouldn't.
You should want your players to succeed.
100%.
Hey, you're going to make it difficult for them because that's your job.
Yeah.
But you should want them to ultimately succeed. And you should not be a DM unless you have that mindset.
And it's like, it can be difficult in not this way. Difficult in them having no clue what they're doing because
two different things.
Or hiding it behind difficult skill checks, or having difficult enemies in the way, or having like mysteries that they have to figure out with the clues. It's like that's where it gets hard. Not with the fact that you just didn't tell them what to do at all, so they did the wrong thing and then they wasted 2 sessions and then you laughed at them. That's not hard. That's just. Do you want to know what? That's bad.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just bad.
I totally agree. I have no idea how this was resolved.
Hate that.
But I really that you shouldn't be playing with this DM if that's the case. Now, if it's a case of, the other, then a conversation should be had. But if this DM just wants to get one up on you, it shouldn't be a DM.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
All
right, this next one is titled "The end of this campaign makes me no longer want to play."
No, why?
So I have just finished playing my first ever campaign, and the title implies that it has made me want to quit D&D. I know that another guy in the party feels the same way because he completely dipped once we hung up on Discord. I've been playing with this online group with this character for a few years now. We had our final session fighting the big bad, and the guy that I previously mentioned was incapacitated almost immediately with no roll to save or anything. And then the OP character in our group just killed it off all themselves and then became the big bad and then killed me and the other character. I guess it could have been interesting, but I just felt fucked over. And this character that I've had for years is gone just like that. It feels like I have no closure or anything. I really loved this campaign before this. Do I even bother with the next campaign?
Yeah, you do. You do, but just maybe not with this Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, this is why conditions like stunned and paralyzed and incapacitated or asleep or banished and things like that can be hard and tricky to work around.
Yes.
Because if you just stun somebody and they have the whole thing is, it's just you should have ways to get out, a save at the end of your turn. It could be dispelled.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or it only lasts until the end of the person who did it to you's turn, so you only miss out on one go. It just lasting and nowhere to get out.
Just no roll, no save.
Is bad.
And then having one player character go in, kill the big bad, then turn into the big bad, then kill the rest of the party. That
just feels dreadful.
That feels terrible.
Dreadful.
And so many people are like, how do I betray the party? I want to betray the party at some point. I would never recommend that it go to this point.
Not in the last oh my god.
No, never.
The finale being the reveal is the worst thing you could ever do.
I completely agree.
You can betray the party and go on for 10, 20 sessions or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And it's not a campaign ending moment.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know, you just steal something that they were working towards and then you give it to the big bad and then you're the right hand guy of the big bad or something like that.
Yeah.
I still feel like people might struggle with that.
But this
dreadful.
God, killing the BBEG, turning on the party, then becoming the BBEG is horrible.
I bet there was no signs. I bet there was no, at no point did anybody suspect you. You hid it from them and had this with the Dungeon Master the whole time.
Yeah,
and then you
terrible.
two just flipped it on them. It's just
that feels terrible.
Hey, you want to do betrayals right? I've said it a million times and I'll say it a million times more. They need to have an inkling that there's going to be a betrayal.
They have to have at least sniff down that path.
They have to have an idea that it's a possibility because if they have no idea, it feels dreadful.
Yeah, and as OP says here, I feel fucked over.
Yeah, you do.
I've had my character for years. I have no closure. I think doing something like that completely robs everyone else of closure. It robs everyone else of, hey, not even a happily ever after.
No.
It robs people just of an after. You know?
What I would do, honestly, in this situation is do two things. Completely in your head canon, if you want to write it down, if you want to make a document or something like that, rewrite the way that the last session went.
Absolutely.
And that this weird betrayal didn't happen.
Yeah, it's your character.
You killed the BBEG, you like set the world free, and then what did your character do after? Like, write that. That's what happened.
Yeah, give yourself the closure.
Give yourself the closure. Now, find a new group.
Yeah.
Find a new group that does not have the person that betrayed you or that dungeon master in, because clearly you love D&D.
Yeah.
You don't play a game for years if you don't like it.
No.
And look, I can't promise you that it's never going to happen again, but look, it's 99% not going to happen again.
Well, there is an update.
No.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon the update's going to be?
I don't know. They came to their house and took a shit on the doorstep. Just to rub it in one last time.
Update. First of all, thank you everyone for the support and advice. I messaged my DM and I told him my thoughts about everything in a nice way. But it turns out the OP character player is actually his girlfriend. I had no idea, and he took it quite personally. I have been kicked out of the group chat.
Good.
I'm not gonna stop playing D&D, but I am going to be looking for another group to play with.
Get out of there.
Man.
Run as far away as possible.
Man, and that honestly is the worst outcome. The worst outcome of being like, I took my questions and concerns to my DM honestly and openly and kindly, and then they took it personally because it's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, I understand. Look, I dungeon master for Margaret, who is my fiancée.
my concubine, my flame, my muse.
My flame. And I understand that we like to do nice things for them.
Of course.
And,
of course.
Like, I get that, but
never at the cost of anyone else.
Fucking everyone else in the
unacceptable.
party to do something nice is just like, you're not doing it for the right reason.
Absolutely unacceptable.
Well, you might be doing it for the right reason, but you're not doing it in the right way.
Yeah.
You aren't doing it in the right way. Just like making one person happy for the sake of your
not worth it.
Against the rest of the party is just not the right way to do it.
It isn't. And this is again, I always talk about this. That game where that person got involved and it was a husband and a wife, and they were just playing like a sick fantasy out with everyone.
Yeah.
Play a 2-player TTRPG.
Play a 2-player
game
together.
Oh my god, play a 2-player game. If that's the case,
fine.
Play a 2-player game.
Yeah, like these two 100% should just play a game.
Absolutely.
Where you can do this big betrayal in the last moment.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter.
Because nobody else is getting affected by what you're doing.
By your actions,
If that's the game you want to play, fine, play it. But if you get everybody else involved and play a one-person game with 3 players at the table, you're just fucking over 2 people. You're wasting 2 people's time.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I am so glad that OP is still going to play D&D.
Yeah.
Just not with these people. Good God, not with these people. They honestly, they've done you a favor kicking you out the group. 100%. Like that. They've done you a favor.
They just did it moments before you left.
Yeah. Well, the next one, on the topic of being stunned and incapacitated, actually, the title is "A Mind Flayer Just Stunned Our Fighter for 8 consecutive rounds."
Uh-oh.
I am the DM for this 5e game, and the unbelievable RNG involved in this still has me reeling 12 hours later.
Yeah, it does do that.
For some context, the fighter has a +1 to intelligence. The fighter was inside the paladin's aura of protection with a +5 bonus to the save.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The fighter was blessed. And if you don't know what bless is, you get to add a 1d4 to all of your
attack rolls and saving throws.
The DC for the intelligence save is 18. Mm-hmm. So it's quite high.
Yeah,
but
it's high.
You have to think, you have a +6 with a +d4 on top of it.
A +6, the paladins already give +6?
+5, but with a +1 to the fighter's intelligence.
So we got +5, +1 intelligence,
and then
an
extra
average of, probably around 2.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what that is? 8. What do you need to roll?
A 10.
10 or a higher. It's a 50-50.
Oh, well, so the fighter had to roll an 11 or better to be guaranteed this save.
Because you'd always get one from the bless.
But bless could fairly easily increase that range if the d4 rolled well.
Very true. It's very true.
The party and I, the DM, watched in dismay as the fighter could not recover from 8 consecutive rounds, even with the help of 2 luck points.
Oh my god.
And a Chronergy Wizard's Chronal Shift.
No way.
Meanwhile, the paladin struggled to justify any turn where they ended it more than 10 feet away from the fighter. At one point, the paladin actually grappled the fighter and dragged them around so the paladin could actually try to fight the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer has meanwhile been counterspelling the wizard out and has the warlock on death's door about to get his brain extracted.
Uh-oh.
Without the fighter, the party has really been struggling to defeat this thing. And this isn't even the hardest fight the players have ever had. Absolutely unbelievable.
Like this is the thing. It's just like when I was sitting earlier.
Oh, man.
Like, the whole point of this is they had saves. Like they got stunned.
Yeah.
And then they got saves every round.
Yep.
But the problem is, like, if
the dice don't allow it,
the dice don't allow it. You had everything in your favor.
Oh.
You had Paladin aura. You had +1 intelligence.
Bless. You got given 2 luck
points.
Luck points and a chronal shift.
A chronal shift from a chronology wizard.
My God.
Like people are doing everything to give you rerolls.
Yeah.
And do you want to know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just how it is.
Sometimes it really do be like that.
And do you want to know what? At that point, you can't be mad at anyone.
Yeah, you can't. And because the thing is, right? Yes, I know that stunning and incapacitated, etc., and paralyzed. I know that those are divisive things. But again, the DM tried to give so many failsafes, and I think that's the thing. When this happens, the DM never expects it to go on for 8 rounds.
You can't. There's no way you can expect that. It's just
No
like
way.
if I give out a condition, I'm expecting 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, max. Because at some point, like, it's going to get to the point where the paladin does move in.
Exactly.
Somebody casts Bless on them.
Exactly.
Somebody that gives them a reroll of some sort.
Exactly.
And do you want to, the one time that we had something like this was when Dale was stuck.
Oh my God.
Do you remember?
Oh my God.
And it went
my
like
God.
5 rounds and she couldn't save.
And it was like this.
Yeah.
It was literally like this.
But
we did everything we could.
But the thing is, she didn't have paladin aura.
Yeah.
She didn't have Bless.
No, she didn't have Bless.
She had 1 bad inspiration dice.
Oh God.
And that went on 5 rounds. 8?
8 rounds would have been the end for all of us.
8 rounds?
And you know what? We all have a story like this. I know you have a story where this has happened to you
100%.
or someone in your party, and the DM sat there like,
I'm sorry.
What do I even do?
Hey, do you want to know
what do I even do?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you can't just take it back.
The thing is, like, the fighter can't even be mad at the dungeon master.
I know, because they have... Have you seen the dog?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, the fighter can't be mad at anyone but their dice. Hey, do you want to know what? Take those dice,
burn them,
throw them into
a
volcano.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, literally,
cast it into the flames.
Tell you what, cast banishment on your dice and send them to the 9 layers of hell.
Yep.
Because it's over.
Never
see
them again. Yep.
Those dice are never coming out again.
And you know what? I love how the DM's like, without the fighter, this is impossible.
Yeah. They're either the fighter's either one or 2 things.
Oh God.
Hard to hit or cranking damage.
Oh God, what an actual nightmare. What an actual complete nightmare. Right. This is the last one I've had to cut out.
I'll save them
for next time because the last one is so funny. But I'll save it for the next one.
Yeah.
This is a really short one before we get onto the art. There is an image here that you can put up after.
Yeah.
And the title of this is Our Game Has Ended.
No.
It was the best, and I'm making myself feel all emotional at work over it all over again. We're going to do another campaign in a month or so, but this one was special. It was my first successful one. Our DM was doing it for the first time too. I found out how much I love D&D, a game that I had avoided for so many years because someone I don't like played it. I am so glad that I decided to be brave that day in the train station and ask to join. It was the most amazing 3 years. And this is the picture, and it's just a calendar, like a repeating calendar thing of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's the person going to delete the recurring event.
No! Don't delete the recurring event because in 1 month it's going to be happening
back up again. Yeah, man.
And this is the thing. I think one of the reasons we actually even started this podcast is it's a very mystified and complicated game.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you look, any other game, you go play Fortnite, you don't have to pick up a £50 book and read it to play.
Yeah.
It's just like, it isn't a super accessible game to play, but I think that's why it's so good, because when you get it and when you get the right people, the best feeling ever. And the fact that you've got that table now with a new dungeon master who enjoyed it, and you're starting a game in a month's time, and there's no better feeling on earth than, we never really had it, but getting a campaign to completion.
Yeah. Our first campaign we ever played in lasted a year and a half, completed it. You know? Like
we've never had it, but I know that there's a number of you who've like joined a number of campaigns that just fizzle out and don't see the end.
Scheduling is the BBEG, you know?
The BBEG,
we know that.
baby.
We know that. And you know, the feeling, you will always remember your first D&D campaign, you know? The first one that came to conclusion, the first one that, and I'm not talking about your literal first one, the first one that ended properly, the first one that you really felt the love for D&D, because there's a difference, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you will always remember it. Always. And I think everyone who has played D&D and loves D&D understands this feeling of a chapter coming to an end, and there's so many feelings that come with it as well. It's like a feeling of grief. It is, because you know, you're saying goodbye to those characters who you are part of you, and then your friends' characters who are a part of them. You're saying goodbye to your friends. You're
saying goodbye to the stories that you told in that game and the campaign setting. Yeah, there's like games that can recur in the same world and stuff like that, but you know, like this one is over.
Yeah, it's over. And
it's like, you know, like I don't cry at a lot of things, but I remember when I got to the end of the first ever Critical Role campaign that I watched, same thing. It's just like, it's just the end of a chapter.
Yeah.
It's the end of like an era for you. Like, especially when it's the first game that got you into it and the first one that reached conclusion. It's just like, yeah, we'll have more and that's amazing, but this one's ending.
Yeah, it's the whole don't cry because it's over. Cry because
it happened.
Cry because it happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we all know this feeling. It's such a bittersweet, because, you know, hopefully your character's ending has been one at least that's good for them, you know?
Yeah, completely agree.
And I feel like that's something that, you know, as we're coming to the end of this campaign, our third campaign with you as the DM, we're kind of rehashing these feelings all over again, and it's getting closer to the end, and we're openly saying, what's in store for our characters? Abby came around yesterday and she was like, what do you think's in the ending for Blythe? And it's changed so much.
Yeah.
So much over the course of the campaign, over the past few sessions. It's changed so much. And so is what's happening for Dales, and I'm sure what has happened for everyone else as well. And it's a momentous occasion.
I agree.
The end of your first proper campaign.
End of any, but especially your first.
Especially the first. At least the first good one. You know, the first one that you really fell in love with D&D with.
I agree.
So F's in the chat. But hey,
F's down in the comments.
OP's starting again in a month. Another campaign to start.
That's a quick turnaround.
The end of a campaign is so sad, but it's also the beginning of a new one. You know, we're devastated that this campaign's ending, but we are more excited for the next than we are devastated, I think. Which is good.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, on to the art. On to the last two pieces of art. So this one, this is simply titled, I hope I'm saying this right, Za'ul the Oracle. Let me write this down.
This is fucking insane.
For you first. And this, first of all, how fucking cool is this?
Unbelievably cool.
Like the headpiece with the hands that cover the eyes, and then like the big circle with the other set of hands on it. This is a bit of me. I love this design.
Like, I think as a dungeon master, there's like things that I like just truly like I'm in awe of for like other dungeon masters that do this. Like when they get art of like really cool concepts for NPCs and stuff like that. It's like you go see the Oracle. Okay, they're not just like a blind person or something like that. They've literally got like golden hands of metal that are like merged to a crown that sort of dresses. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's such a cool idea. I love that.
So cool.
That's so amazing.
So cool. And there's a bit of a blurb.
Go for it.
Sharing my D&D OC NPC. I, who sees beyond the veil of reality, seeker of fate's champions or doom's casualty, have crossed paths with you, be it chance or not. What lies after our encounter will be your delight or your demise. So I ask, nay, I demand your audience. Will you peek into your future or let fear be your guide.
Ooh, baby.
And the backstory behind this character is, in the land of elves, under the ruler of an elven high king, fortune telling and fortune reading are forbidden and considered a heretical act.
Yeah. You're a heretic if you do.
Yeah. But for Za'ul, making people believe in her false readings makes her powerful and validated. Branded as a heretic, despite being a fraudulent fortune teller, the High King punished her by plucking her eyes out. Unbeknownst to her, the punishment served as a catalyst that allows her to access untapped powers of her own.
Ooh, it's the juice. It's the juice.
Hey, write that down. Write that down.
Hey, write that one down.
So she started as like this like fraudulent fortune teller, and then the king was like, "Hey, that stinks." Took her eyes out, and then she's like, "Whoa, oh." Well, actually, hey, good job you did that.
Hey, thanks, by the way.
Hey, not fraudulent anymore.
Thank you very much, by the way.
Man, I love that.
I just love the origin of it. Like, did it because it felt like it gave her power.
Yeah, and then, that plays into the whole idea of fate.
Yeah.
Like, was she always going to be the
Oracle?
She was always
destined to be the Oracle.
Through what path? Oh, through being a fraudulent fortune teller. Man, I love that. I think that is so cool. The art is obviously incredible.
Oh my god, the art's so good.
Obviously. We will leave links to the art station down below. Their username is _paparazzi_ on Reddit, but we will leave all the information below.
Very, very, very cool.
So cool.
Not only art, but story.
So cool. So cool. And then the next one. Sorry, let me write this down.
God. Tippy tappies on the iPad.
This next one is titled Magusta Aljamon, Battlemaster Level 3. This is the art.
God, the art is so good. Just a little guy. This is the epitome of just a little guy.
Just a little guy. Just a little guy in a big world,
Just a little guy in a big world doing the best.
And the caption is, "Hello, I'm DMing a Humblewood campaign, and along with 2 other illustrator friends decided to draw the party of adventurers. I got to draw the table's fighter and rogue. Magusta Aljamon is a raptor, basically a hawk/eagle person, that left home in pursuit of fame, inspired by a godlike gladiator that he had admired in his youth. Over time, he became one of the most famous gladiators, known as the fastest warrior amongst his circle, wielding a longsword or a rapier alongside a shield. However, he eventually realized that fame isn't the most important thing in his life. During his travels, he encountered Ozi Kudo, a druid living peacefully in the woods, which stirred feelings of envy in Magusta for the first time. This encounter made him realize that Ozi represents the opposite end of the same coin, peace and nature, contrasting with Magusta's life of violence and glory."
Cool. The art is
the art is beautiful.
So good.
The art is actually gorgeous.
I love characters that are clad in all sorts of different bits and things like that. They just look cozy to me sometimes.
I love this. And we will link to the artist's Instagram down below. They're called Not Gaza, and they're also called Not Gaza on Reddit as well. And I just think, what a jaunty little guy.
Jaunty little guy.
Hey, best warrior.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's
amazing.
That's so good and so
go
sweet.
And show them some love and check them out on
indeed.
Instagram or ArtStation or whatever. We love to support small artists in the community.
Yes, indeed.
So go and show them some love with just a like or something like that.
Yes, indeed.
Goes a long way.
Indeed, it really does. That's it. That's your fill.
Hey, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did enjoy yourself, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. All those good things go a million miles to help the video. Come join us on Twitch every Friday, every Sunday, and every other Tuesday.
Yes, we're doing so many fun things this month.
We're doing so many fun things this month. Come and get involved. Check out the Patreon if you want some more exclusive content from us.
D&D campaign updates.
Check out some merch, and Patreons get 10% off. www.lgpodblast.co.uk. Anything else?
No, I'm starved.
I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you wherever he's gone to. We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye!
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hooves.
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian,
Arkham Labs Cosplay,
Maddie,
Pepsi Woman,
Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian,
Ryan the Giant 111,
J-Spot,
Ultrafail,
Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Danny Phantom,
Catherine,
Faustskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus,
Luna River.
Ruined Rivers. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.